This is the biggest pendant you'll ever see. We were commissioned by a local artist to create this unique piece. The process begins with a sketch, where the overall shape, proportions, and structure of the pendant are explored. At this stage, the goal is to establish balance and presence. The curves of the 0 and 3 must feel bold but not bulky, and the surface must be wide enough to accommodate a dense arrangement of stones without compromising durability. Once the sketch is finalized, the design moves into CAD, or computer-aided design. This is where creativity meets precision. The pendant is rebuilt digitally with exact measurements, ensuring that every curve, edge, and surface is perfectly defined. The placement of each stone is mapped out individually, creating a grid that allows for a consistent pave setting. Every seat is calculated to ensure that the stones will sit securely while maximizing how they catch and reflect light. At this stage, the piece is not just designed for aesthetics, but also engineered for structural integrity and wearability. Once the CAD design is complete, it is transformed into a physical prototype using a high-resolution 3D printer. This model is typically produced in castable resin or wax, materials specifically designed to burn out cleanly during the casting process. The level of detail at this stage is remarkable. Every tiny opening for the stones, every curve, and every structural element is already present in the model. This printed version serves as the exact blueprint for the final metal piece. What you're holding here is essentially the pendant in its earliest physical form, fragile and lightweight, yet incredibly precise. The next stage is where the transformation truly begins. The resin or wax model is used in a process called wax casting. The model is first encased in a plaster-like material known as investment, forming a solid mold around it. Once the mold hardens, it is placed into a kiln and heated to high temperatures. As the temperature rises, the wax or resin inside melts and evaporates, leaving behind a perfectly shaped, hollow cavity. The liquid metal flows into every detail, filling the spaces where the stones will later be set. Once the metal cools and solidifies, the investment mold is broken away, revealing the raw cast pendant for the first time. Once the raw casting is revealed, it is far from finished. The piece is first cut away from any casting sprues and then carefully cleaned. Excess metal is removed using files and rotary tools, refining the shape and smoothing out imperfections left from the casting process. This stage requires a steady hand and attention to detail. Edges are sharpened, surfaces are evened out, and the structure is carefully inspected. If the pendant includes multiple components, such as a separate bail, these parts are soldered or welded together to form the complete structure. At this point, the pendant begins to resemble its final form, but it still lacks its defining feature, the stones. Stone setting is one of the most intricate stages of the process, especially for a fully iced-out piece. For this pendant, a pave setting technique is used. This involves placing small stones closely together and securing them with tiny beads of metal, creating a continuous surface of sparkle. The setter carefully positions each stone into its seat, ensuring alignment, spacing, and height are all perfectly consistent. This process can take many hours, sometimes days, depending on the complexity of the piece. Precision is critical. If even one stone is misaligned, it can disrupt the entire visual flow. When done correctly, the result is a seamless field of brilliance, where the metal becomes nearly invisible beneath the stones. After all the stones are set, the pendant undergoes polishing. This step enhances the metal surface, removing any remaining marks and bringing out a high shine finish. Polishing wheels and compounds are used to create a smooth, reflective surface that complements the brilliance of the stones. Before the piece is considered complete, it goes through a final quality control process. Every detail is inspected, from the security of each stone to the overall finish of the metal. The structure is checked for durability, ensuring it can withstand regular wear. Hallmarks may also be applied to verify the metal's purity, confirming that it meets industry standards. What started as a simple sketch has now become a fully realized piece of jewelry. Every stage, from design to casting to setting, contributes to the final result. It is a process that combines technology, craftsmanship, and patience, transforming raw materials into something precise, durable, and visually striking. And that is how a pendant like this comes to life, one step at a time. If you like the video and want to see more, consider liking and subscribing to see more content like this. Thank you for watching.